Right. So you get pulled over, right?
Yeah.
Cops found the weapon. Who gun is this?
Yeah. What happened?
Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know my slogan. I don't know it all, but I know what I've been through. Now, before we get into this video, please make sure you head on down to Instagram and follow us on our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _. Alright? We're able to be a little more explicit, a little more uncensored, and share content freely without running the risk of having our channel terminated. So, once again, make sure you head on down to Instagram and follow us on our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _. Alright, now let's get into what you guys came here to see. Now, before we even start this video, middle finger to all y'all, man, okay? Because yesterday I did a video on Lil Boosie, and majority of the comments was focused on the way I say Boosie. Alright, now yes, I know you must pronounce the S when saying his name, but I guess with what y'all call an accent, that S in Boosie just don't sit right with me. I'm sorry. It don't feel right, and yeah. So throughout this video, when I say Boosie name, just know that I get it. Y'all ain't gotta come for me in the comments, man, because I already know that I'm not fully pronouncing the man's name the correct way, but it is what it is. Alright, now that we got that out of the way, let's talk more about your boy Boosie and the recent situation he got himself in, as the feds will pick him up right after he beat his previous gun case with the state outside of that very courtroom. Now, yesterday we reported that Boosie was set to appear in court on a gun charge that he caught early May of this year when he was arrested during a regular traffic stop when police would find a gun in the car. As he would go back and forth to court, eventually he ended up beating the case earlier yesterday, or so he thought, because to his surprise, as he was walking out of the court hearing, he would be arrested yet again, but this time by federal agents. Now, at first, no one knew what he was arrested by the feds for until sources say that it was the same gun case he caught within the state, but this time the feds picked it up. Alright, now for y'all that don't know or unsure what it means by the feds picking up a case, 9 times out of 10, that means they did their own investigation and have more evidence than the state to convict you on whatever charge the state couldn't charge you with, depending on your situation. Now, in this case, the gun possession charge is, the main thing for your boy Boosie. We've learned that Boosie would plead not guilty, and instead, someone else that was in that car would take that charge. And it's funny because he just clowned Rollo for doing kind of the same thing, where Rollo allegedly had someone else take his charge, where he alleges that he agreed with the individual just so he can come out of jail early. Alright, whether it's true or not, that's what he says, and I haven't seen anyone say different or object, so I don't know. But how different is that from Boosie expecting his friends to take a weapons charge instead of him? Yes, it's the ideal thing to do because he's the bag, but why clown the next man for doing the same thing if you're going to do it too? Simple. Now, I see somebody else said in the comments, oh, well, Boosie didn't tell. Rollo actually told, even though he said his mans took it, he told you're not supposed to tell the cops anything. Understandable, but like I said, everybody usually are selective when it comes to who they hold accountable to what standard. That's just me. But anyway, in order for the feds to pick up the case and arrest Boosie, that means they would have some information that may lead to him actually being the sole owner or having some type of affiliation to that weapon. Who knows? Whether it was an informant or fingerprints, whatever. Either way, Boosie is a prior convicted felon and he's not permitted to be around any kind of firearm or possess it whatsoever in the first place. Like I said in the previous video, the feds play dirty, and you would never ever know what they got up their sleeve until the very, very last minute. Now, whatever it is, it must be kind of serious, and Boosie must know that he's in for it, because someone will later take to his Twitter to issue a statement after being picked up saying, quote, "I want to take this time to apologize to my kids. I'm sorry and I love y'all forever. Prayer hand emoji." Then fans started getting kind of skeptical and assuming that maybe Boosie would need a lot of money to fight his case, even with some saying that he must be broke, because he took to his Instagram to ask for bias for his Rolls Royce Cullinan the same day. Now, he posted a picture of the luxury vehicle and the caption said, quote, $240,000 cash. DM me and send me contact if interested at 1 Saturdays. And I think that's his manager or whatever. Now, for the people that's calling Boosie broke for suddenly trying to sell his Cullinan, let me tell y'all this. Even if he is trying to sell that vehicle just to get up lawyer fee money to fight this case, it doesn't mean he's broke. You know, 9 times out of 10, most of them never even been in any legal situation, let alone the feds, to know how they play. You gotta pay your lawyer fees. You gotta pay court surcharge fees. Sometimes you may have to pay a little hush money and pay off some people. And probably said a little too much, but it is what it is. Y'all catch my drift. The feds don't play. Anytime you got any type of legal situation, they don't play, especially when they know that you have some type of money. They try to exhaust your accounts with whatever when you going back and forth to court. All that stuff costs money. When you hear these guys pay these attorneys $500,000, $100,000, I paid this to get this one out. It's a lot of money. They ain't capping. You know? So whatever it takes to get some money up and get you out of a jam, so be it. No vehicle is more important or more valuable than your freedom. All right? So it is what it is. Now let's get into the Math Hoffa interview, where people are saying that Math shouldn't have asked a question because it possibly could be used against Boosie in his current case and even in his later case, well, his previous case with the gun charge. Yes, he beat it, but now it's picked up by the Fed, so at the end of the day, who knows? All right. Now, Math asked Boosie about keeping it real 24/7, but he told Boosie it's impossible to keep it real 24/7. All right. Now, knowing Boosie, he say he can and he does. Then that segued into Math Hoffa asking Boosie about a hypothetical scenario about getting pulled over with a gun in the car. Here's how it went.
What you mean if the cops find the weapon?
Yeah, if they find a weapon, it's like 5 of y'all in the whip. It ain't yours.
This shit done happened plenty of times.
Yeah,
my boy gonna say this his guns when they come to the car. Yeah, that's what they do.
They always
That's
pull
when you have the youngest person in the clique for all the time around you. You know, people do that 7 different times in the clique. Who's never not convicted, they just, you know, take the charge for the kill.
Now, first and foremost, I always say this, right? Because I watch a lot of Math Hoffa interviews. I always say, man, what's the difference between him and Vlad TV? You know, maybe skin color. But I don't know what Math be trying to do. Maybe he be trying to get a reaction out of dudes. Of course, probably for a viral moment. Whatever the case may be. But certain questions he be asking, especially when he does this hypothetical scenario stuff, I always said that it's going to get somebody in trouble. I don't know if that's the case here, but as y'all can see in that clip, the question that was asked and the way it was answered and the information that Boosie gave out, oh man. Listen, after seeing that clip, right, here's a question in the hypothetical scenario I have for y'all. If you was a part of a jury and they played that clip for you in court, what would you think? You know, you would definitely think without a doubt that Boosie possesses weapons, but whenever he comes in contact with the police, he makes the younger individual in his entourage take the hit instead of him so he can avoid going to jail, right? Because that's pretty much what he said in the clip. So honestly, with all these rappers getting indicted and police using interviews and lives as ammunition, y'all don't think that the feds will possibly use that interview to make a point to the jury? Come on. And like I told you in the previous video, the feds don't come to play. They don't come to try to investigate. Usually when they come in to convict. All right, they're not coming to ask you if you did this or if you know this person. No, they come in with time and you pretty much got to defend that against whatever they have. And sometimes there's no telling what they have because at the end, they come with some stuff that you never even know they had. And they have a very high, almost perfect conviction rate, right? Whether it's 3 years, 5 years, 10, 20, 50, whatever amount of years that they have for you, 9 times out of 10, you're doing it. You know, unfortunately, and I hope that's not the case here, but it's just weird. Now, here's my thing. Mav should have known better than to ask Boosie them type of questions. He should know better than to ask them type of questions, period, to anybody, actually. Because those are the same questions that some people don't have the discipline to be like, nah, next question. Most of these artists just gotta prove a point and say too much out of pride. Sometimes it's liquor in the mix, so it gets artists loose and comfortable saying certain things they wouldn't normally say. I personally think sometimes they just get in the rhythm, they get, in the vibe, and forget that the camera is rolling because they so comfortable with the interviewer. In this case, it's Math Hoffa. Maybe they have a cool vibe, or whatever the case may be. You may say a little too much and forget that the camera's rolling. Who knows? It could be a whole mixture of things. But honestly, as an artist himself, Math Hoffa, he should know better than to ask some type of questions that could get someone in trouble, because I'm sure he wouldn't want that for himself. All right. However, I got to be 50-50 on it, because even though he asked the question, the artist, especially being Boosie, should know better. Boosie, for y'all people that, going to go crazy in the comments. But I still hold Math accountable, man, because keep in mind, Math isn't no fool. We all knew that Boosie was currently fighting a gun charge. So why even ask a question like that or put that out in the midst of all that's going on? Knowing how the feds play, knowing how the police play, knowing the exact scenario you played out and asked him is the same exact scenario in which he was caught up in. You see what I'm saying? If I ain't know any better, that whole scenario would seem like it was a setup to me. Then to add salt to injury, Math drops that same interview the same day Boosie is snatched by the feds right after. Like what? Like, come on. Come on. I know as YouTubers and bloggers, we have to go for the viral moment and kind of like capture the moment, but not all the time, man. Where's the morals? Where's your principles? You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, maybe Boosie may have said a little too much during the interview, and ultimately, we hope it don't come back to bite him in the end. It's unfortunate, but look how fast life could hit you, man. Because the other week he was just arguing with Rollo while he's incarcerated, and now look how the tables have turned. All right, so y'all jump in the comments, let me know what y'all think about this, man. What y'all think about your boy Boosie and that whole interview he did with Math Hoffa. Do y'all think that's part of the reason he was snatched up? Do y'all think that it could be used against him? Do you think he said too much? Let us know how you feel, man. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'm going to keep on dropping. And I'm out.